Hope you guys are ready for Decade Video Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 best things to happen in video gaming over the last 10 years. I forgot to mention, by the way, my wife got me this shirt for Christmas, and man, it's the best. And Pippin's actually right there sleeping on the couch like he always does every time I make any videos, you lazy co-host. But anyway, without further ado, here's the 10 best things to happen in video gaming over the last 10 years. Let's jump into it.
Number 10.
Whew, finally a list that's way more fun to make. Talking about the number 10 coolest thing to happen in gaming this year is the growth of rechargeable peripherals and other gaming peripherals being, well, reasonably priced. You know, this generation we've gotten the idea where you can get these great controllers, some of the best controllers we've ever had in our lives. And they have rechargeable batteries, HD rumble, all sorts of great stuff. And then I remember back, even 6-7 years ago, surround sound headphones were $250, and now you can get a really decent pair for under $100. I mean, the way the gaming peripherals are going with competition and third-party markets not being mad cats, it's really just been a huge improvement for gaming.
Number 9.
Number 9 is huge to me. I love the fact that there is less exclusivity with third-party companies. The one that immediately comes to mind is Square Enix. Square, of course, originally was on Nintendo, and then was just strictly PlayStation for so long. And now it seems like they're back on Nintendo, they're getting their properties on the Xbox, and really when companies, especially third-party companies, have less exclusivity, it's good for everyone. I know this is going to hurt the feeling of some fanboys, but if more people are buying the game, that means more funding is going to those companies, which means more games are going to come out, or at least better quality. It's a win-win, and I love the fact that a lot of third-party companies are going in this direction.
Number 8.
Number 8 is kind of in the same vein as number 9, and that is crossplay. For so long, it feels like companies have been pitting us against each other. But now, you can jump into Minecraft on your PlayStation or on your Switch and your Xbox and on the computer, and everybody's playing together. More and more games are going to crossplay, and really that does wonders for everyone, because more people are now buying games, can play with their friends no matter what they have, which once again brings more money to the companies, which means more better content is going to come out. I love the idea of crossplay, and I'm so glad that hurdle is being overcome as we speak.
Number 7.
I may give digital games a hard time, but number 7 is really an awesome thing, and that is the fact that with pretty much every single online service that's out there, Xbox Live, PlayStation Plus, and the Nintendo Online service, they are giving out free games, usually monthly. In Nintendo's case, they've switched it up here more recently, but the fact that they're giving you free games for subscribing to this service is awesome. A lot of people are getting to play games maybe they never had the chance or didn't want to take a gamble on, and then a lot of people who maybe can't afford a lot of games are getting a lot more playability out of their consoles. I mean, gosh, when I was younger, to have the ability to get free games every month would have been fantastic, and I love that that's a change that's happened over the last 10 years.
Number 6.
If you've been watching my channel, number 6 is going to come of no surprise to you, and that is third-party physical game companies. I, of course, am in horrible fear of my physical games going away. But over the last 10 years, you've had companies like Super Rare and Limited Run coming out and making physical games, especially for cool indie games, physical copies for games so you can have them on your shelf. Usually they even come with a collector's edition, which I'm obviously a sucker for. I am so happy that people are preserving these games and preserving the physical copies, and I really hope that this can last as long as possible.
Number 5.
You know, a lot of these seem to tie together, but number 5 definitely ties into number 6, and that is AAA quality indie games. You know, over the last 10 years, you're seeing these little companies come out and getting recognition and becoming big, big titles. I mean, we have Hollow Knight. Sonic Mania was basically made by just a handful of people. You know, you're getting these huge indie games that before would never have a chance of being on console, and now not only are they on console, but some of them are getting official physical copies. That is a great thing that's happened over the last 10 years. These huge indie games that are, you know, passion, labor of love projects that are coming to light for everyone to enjoy.
Number 4.
You know what they say, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and number 4 for me is remasters, remakes, and ports. I love being able to play some of these older games all in one place, or playing them with up-resed graphics, or in the case of some things like the upcoming Final Fantasy VII, full-on remakes. I mean, the Spyro Reignited trilogy was fantastic, the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy was awesome, and me personally, I have fallen in love with all of these Mega Man Legacy collections. Oh my god, you could keep making them and I will eat them up. I can only pray that the ZX collection goes well, because all that's left is Battle Network and Legends, and those are two of some of my favorite game series of all time. You know, a lot of people are probably going to say I would rather have new games coming out, but I am all in for preserving stuff with remasters, remakes, and ports, and that is one thing that the last 10 years has really brought a great supply of.
Number 3.
Speaking of Mega Man and my last one, number 3 is the Capcom revival. You know, there was a time when Capcom was the biggest name in video games, and then there was a drop-off. Some people can say it was around the time of Resident Evil 5 and 6, but there was definitely a substantial waning in popularity with Capcom. But heck, you can take the last year, for example, with the Resident Evil 2 remake, Devil May Cry 5, of course, the previously mentioned Mega Man Legacy collections, Mega Man 11 even. I mean, Capcom has really, really come back, and in my opinion, it is one of the best things to happen over the last 10 years, because Capcom's one of my favorite companies, and the fact that they're coming back and bringing with them fantastic games and awesome remakes is one of the coolest things that could have ever possibly happened.
Number 2.
You know, I tried to not put specific consoles or games or anything like that on this list because I'm kind of thinking more big picture, but number 2 has to go to just the Nintendo Switch. I mean, the Nintendo Switch is so different that it has to have its own spot on this list. The idea of having a console that is handheld, that can dock onto your TV, and have great functionality, great graphics, you can play with friends online. Granted, the online service does need some work, but the Nintendo Switch is awesome. It is a JRPG powerhouse, and of course the Nintendo first-party games are all fantastic. The Nintendo Switch definitely brought back what hope was lost with the Wii U. And man, you know, I can only look forward to what the Switch is going to do in the future and what Nintendo's next steps are. But definitely the Nintendo Switch is one of the best things to happen in gaming over the last 10 years.
Number 1.
You know, number 1 is a really big deal. Like a really, really, really big deal. Over the last 10 years, the ability to connect with friends and people online has been astounding. I mean, some of my best friends I have ever met, I've met playing video games. Heck, I met a guy playing Destiny once that turns out he lived pretty close to my dad. We ended up hanging out and becoming great friends. I mean, it's so cool, the fact that we can meet up with these people online, like-minded individuals, play games with them, hang out, especially if you're in a place where it's hard to maybe make friends. Or, you know, I remember I worked in Canada for a while, and if it wasn't for online gaming, I would have just been out there by myself for months on end. I mean, you know, I was out there literally in the tundra. The idea of online connectivity in gaming has been such a game changer. I mean, it has changed the gaming landscape for better or for worse. In my list, of course, is for better, but it has changed it permanently. It's one of the coolest things and one of the most important things that has definitely happened over the last 10 years. So that's going to do it for what I think are the best 10 things that happened this decade in gaming. If you guys agree or disagree, man, please throw some stuff in the comments. I really want to talk to you guys about it, because I'll tell you, it was hard as hell for me to make these two lists specifically. Other than that, you know, the same normal stuff. Please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. Other than that, you know, I hope you guys all have an awesome new year, and I hope you guys have an awesome new decade coming on us. Anyway, as normal, take it easy.